tell you what we'll do. Let's go around the circle. Let's get names first of all, so everyone's a little bit more familiar. All right, we're going to start here.
Eva.
Genny.
Nilla.
Was it? Sorry, Genny. Nilla.
James.
Tim.
Nastya. Danny.
Ayanli, a third-year aerospace engineer, some relevance.
Yeah, alright. Wonderful stuff. Now, we've been talking about lots today, haven't we? Alright? We've been talking about video games, about Fortnite, about biometric identification, Face ID on Apple, alright? And that's currently what we're talking about, isn't it? Is it secure if you have a twin? We're just talking about, actually, if you have a twin, it would unlock you have the same face, won't it?
Yeah, well, if you go back to the gaming thing, right? You know how people can meet up?
Yeah.
You know, they can do that, but sometimes, for instance, sometimes people, if they can't play the game, right, they can look on YouTube, and they can, like, even they can search up GTA. There's thousands of videos.
Oh, okay,
and
so
yeah,
even though can't play the game, they can look it up.
Yes, they can still do it.
Well, yeah, a lot of people nodding in agreement there. Yeah.
My cousin, sometimes when he has my grandma looking after him, he shuts his door on a lock, and he plays all night.
Being a bit sneaky.
And then he hides his computer where it usually is, and his mum and dad don't have any idea he was playing at night. And then he keeps talking about it at school, and then his mum and dad get a red warning to come back to the school because he keeps talking about it.
Isn't it? Kids are always trying to get around the parents, aren't they, doing stuff? Yeah, I mean, is that what other people used to do? Do you guys used to do that?
Yes, I remember, like, my most vivid memory growing up was playing my Game Boy at night time under my duvet, right?
Oh,
My Game Boy Color, I think it was, because it had like a sort of white screen that allowed me to play under the duvet. Whenever my mum came in, it was like some sort of game to avoid her. And like, I think as a 7 or 8 year old, I was up till 3 AM sometimes, you know? But now this is something that I'm gonna like pose to you guys as a question. Are you guys familiar, just sort of show of hands, with something called the cloud?
Yes.
The cloud.
You are, right?
The cloud. Do we know the cloud? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, people are too cold to raise their hand. They're like,
Have you guys sort of seen these new technologies such as the Apple HomePod, the Amazon Fire Stick, these sort of centralized technology systems that allow you to really control everything?
Bit like Alexa as well. Yeah.
Exactly.
The Android version.
Google Home Mini and what they're all
Indeed. So this is where like technology firms are starting to take a massive view, right? So how powerful do you think it would be if your parents could control centrally what you guys are doing in real time? Do you think that it will be something that damages you guys from a development point of view? Would you not want your parents to see what YouTube videos you're watching in real time? What is your view?
Who are we going to go? Let's have a look. Where are we going to come to? We're going to come just here, yeah.
privacy. Privacy is a great thing, right? Because let's say you don't you really want a game, or you're something, you want to buy something for your parents.
Yeah.
Let's say you got your pocket money. Let's say you have 20 quid, right? And you want to buy something, and you're googling how to make something. You're not gonna want, oh look, little Timmy, he's gonna make us this. Yeah, you want it to be a surprise. Or if you're chatting with someone or your best friend, and you don't want people to interfere,
to privacy, yeah.
And also there's these common examples when you're chatting with your friend, and your teacher's like, oh, what's he talking about? You're like, no, just no, go away, because you don't want adults. They won't get you. It's just annoying.
Does that go back to then we're talking about how children are always going to find a way to get around their parents? I mean, is that something that you guys did? You guys always find a way to get past sort of parents and guardians? Yeah. What sort of things did you guys used to get up to?
What? To get past our parents?
Yeah, get past parents.
I don't know, I used to sneak around with my phone a lot, obviously.
Oh, okay,
My parents didn't do your homework first, then go on your phone, but that didn't work for me.
Yeah, it didn't work. Yeah, always finding. We had a hand up over here as well, didn't we?
So I was going to add on to
it's Tim, isn't it? Yeah.
Tim, to Tim's description of privacy, because of course currently we live in a democracy, but of course if we get to a point in security where our government or our monarch can control everything that we know and research about from the click of a button, if it ends up in the wrong hands, it can do serious amounts of damage.
Yeah. So not only privacy from parents, but privacy from the government as well.
When I had a sleepover with my friends, we basically put a door into the bed so my mum and dad think I was sleeping because you had to scan a camera to see if there's somebody else hiding in the bed. So we sit under the bed. It was double decker on the second layer, and then I took my phone that I took with me that my parents bought for me in Christmas, and I started playing with her all night. And then her mum noticed our eyes were red, so she caught us playing all night.
So do you think this? Yeah. So like, yeah, they're being sneaky,
And
but
I seriously do not like when my mum says my eyes are red because I keep playing at night.
now, yeah, we've got another question.
So who was it that said they watched Black Mirror?
Oh, I think that was Dab Man. Yeah.
Oh,
Dab
he
Man
left.
that
Okay,
left.
so like, do you think I'm going to ask you guys questions before I continue? Yes or no? Do you think the government should pass laws, specific laws, onto how much they can monitor their children?
What, parents?
Yeah.
So do you think the government should pass a law about how much parents can actually sort of spy or look at what their young people are up to?
Although privacy is probably the world's best thing, you know, obviously sometimes kids can get up to things that their parents get really mad about.
Yeah.
So I think that the government should put laws because children can get really, really damaged.
Alright, Kate's jumping in. We're going to come over here first, then we'll come back across.
So of course, while I would say that while the idea of privacy again is nice, I think the government should also install the amount of things, because they should probably install the amount of watch over. They should probably limit the amount of watch over actual people as well as people watch over their children, because essentially right now we're in a place where like every second you are being watched by someone. You are being watched. It just doesn't feel nice because you're like, oh.
It's like Big Brother, isn't it? It's always
like
there,
being,
yeah.
you're basically terrified of moving around.
Alright, great point. I'm going to come over to Kate, then we're going to get to Tim.
He's coming back. He's just running
coming
around the
back,
square
that's
and coming
yeah.
back. Okay, but
Come sit or jog at the table, whatever you want to do to stay warm. That is fine.
okay. So obviously technology is a massive thing about why parents and sort of age limits and stuff. Why parents need to give some guidance to kids about what they see. But if you ask any parent if they did things when they were a kid that their parents would have disapproved of, they go, yeah, of course I did. That's how I learnt how to manage risk or how to do things on my own. And then they become parents themselves, and then they suddenly go, oh, I need to stop you doing something, but I did that myself when I was a kid, and actually I learnt some really important things from that. It's a difficult thing because technology has taken that parenting thing to another level, partly because the kids know more about the technology than the parents do, which is a very complex thing. But it's really important not to be wholly controlled all the time when you're a kid, because otherwise you don't.
Independence.
You don't know how to. You don't learn how to manage. If someone always walks you across the road, you never learn how to cross the road yourself, and you need to be able to go, oh, that car's moving that fast. I can judge this myself. I can make that call on my own. I can manage risk myself.
Now we've got a couple of new faces at the table, so we are going to come around and hear the points. But I want to do a quick round of names, just so I can see. That's all right. So I can see when everyone's warming up a little bit now.
So the name's Ayan Liaden. I'm a student here at Imperial studying aerospace engineering. Any questions about planes, you can ask me more.
Got real.
Hi, I'm Danny. I like astronomy, physics, rocketry, models, aircraft,
Perfect stuff.
and aerospace. I have simulations on my laptop, and I have my own tutor, and I really like doing tests on these things.
Amazing stuff. We can do. Let's get the name around first. It's so heated here already. All right, let's keep the conversation warm to keep us warm. What's your name?
Liam, and I like waffles.
Waffles are great. Good choice.
Anastasia, nasty for short.
Anastasia, nasty for short.
My name is Nathan. I like science.
So good choice. What's your name?
My name's Simon. I'm a research scientist myself.
Wow, research
At UCL though.
At UCL. Oh, don't worry, we don't judge here. It's okay.
I'm Tim.
Tim, lovely to see you again, Tim.
I'm Tim and I like YouTube. Not Tim, James.
James, I said Kate's getting heated.
I'm Tim too. We're all Tim. No, I'm Kate. Hello.
Kate, my name's Will. That is Rick. This is Talkaoke. It's been getting mad. Look, we've even got conversations breaking out over the other side. Like, let us in, let us know what we're talking about.
I was basically asking him a few questions about, because as he said, he was very interested in aerospace engineering. I'm an aerospace engineer myself, and I was asking him whether or not he flew the full motion flight simulator we have in the department.
Whoa, okay, so it's the full motion flight simulator.
So at the moment we're doing exhibitions. I think officially you need a ticket, but I can sneak you guys in with your parents if you'd like. But we have a flight simulator where students can test out flight models, etc., etc. It's the 100th anniversary of our department here at Imperial.
Wow!
So we've been taking people to fly it throughout. I was doing it yesterday, but today I've been cramming for my exam tomorrow, so I can take you guys across with your parents if you wish to the department. But I won't steal you guys all now because the show is very much interesting at the moment.
We're going to pass it across. Tim's got something to say.
Danny, I forgot your point. I had this point on your. Can you repeat your point? I just forgot what I was about to say.
Do you remember what you were saying before we did the round of names?
Yeah.
This is my job, and I've blanked on this one as well, so I'm not doing a very good job here. It's okay.
Okay, I think it was that I was going to say that. Come on, what was it? Wait, sorry, it slipped my mind. Wait, can you give us a minute?
Right, we're talking about, that's right, we're talking about Big Brother, we're talking about privacy, control, biometric facial ID. Oh, it's all been going on, people.
So I think I was going to say like that. It's that there's a problem with what I think is that I've seen this video. I didn't come up with this by myself. I learned this off a video. There sometimes appears to be a problem with our system of education, especially like no room for passion, and it's locking timetables and stuff, which is telling our children a very dangerous message. Is that you are not in control of your lives. We must tell you through life, and you will never be an independent individual that can achieve what you want to do in life. You will always be under law enforcement of your own parents.
Well, I want to throw that out to some of the adults at the table first of all. I'm going to turn it back, all right? We've quizzed the kids quite a lot. Do you think we have too much control over our kids? Do we need to give them more freedom? Do we need to give them more independence? What are our thoughts?
Children should be free range.
Free range. Oh, interesting. Do we agree with that? Do we not agree? We're going to come here first.
I think that children should learn independence because if they I'm gonna repeat this. I'm just kidding.
You just want independence?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's cool stuff. Yeah.
As a kid, lots of kids want like clarification from their parents, like, oh, can I do this? Oh, can I do that? When they're older, they won't be able to ask their parents, oh, can I do this? Can I do that? So they need to learn for themselves how to do those different things.
Yeah, you need to learn on your own, don't you? Yeah. Oh, let's just get a final thought before you go. Final thought.
Enjoy being a child, it's very short.
Yeah, if we just take this point, you guys got to go. Give us a final thought before you do go, because you've been absolutely brilliant, James and Tim, alright? I want to have a final thought of you guys.
Right, you said about Big Brother. Actually, if the MI5, MI6, all the intelligence services that we have in the United Kingdom don't do their job, we might have a crisis here, because they do it all over reason. I watched a documentary. Like, we don't know. We only know of like the terrorists actually happening when the MI5 don't succeed. But most of the time they do, right? And they actually stop massive catastrophe. So if they don't spy, which is their job, we might face a crisis where if the police don't know where the drugs are trafficked, we might face like a massive heat of crime in London. There might be all these riots, and the police won't know where they will spark and all that, and it will be a massive crisis.
It's good for the government to monitor. It's good for them to sort of have that one level of control. Yeah.
Right, last thing I want to say is that if you don't have any control on your child, right, you never know what they're up to. As you know, we have had some terrorist attacks, and some of them have just been teenagers. And obviously, if parents have no control, they have no idea who they're talking to, anyone.
So we need some control, but not autonomous control.
Yes.
Okay. Are you going as well, Anastasia? Let's have one last final thought of you as well, my lovely.
I watched Anne Frank.
What was that, sorry?
I watched Anne Frank.
You watched Anne Frank, did you enjoy it? No, it's a tough one to watch. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. You've been brilliant, alright?
My mum let me.
It was, but it's educational, alright? Enjoy your day, Anastasia. We're at a point over here.
I mean, as a parent, what you have to do is a continuous risk assessment. So you're risk assessing all the time. So it's the risk of of letting my children make their own choices. That's a good thing. In general, they're learning how to make choices, but you have to balance that with the risk that something bad is going to come out of it.
Yeah.
So it's nothing more annoying than, for instance, being told in an airport that your children can't be pushed on those luggage trolleys.
Right,
because I'm the parent, I'm the one that makes the risk assessment, but someone else is telling me how to make my own risk assessment of the luggage trolleys.
Yeah, okay.
And so, you know, we're having to make those micro adjustments constantly on a daily basis. So, you know, it's a very complex, you know, two-way discussion with lots of other inputs as well.
Yeah, wow, so many points going on. Where are we going to come to next? We're going to come here first,
In the current government system, that we're being, as he rightfully said, we're being programmed as automatons by this government system. So the education system, they give us timetables to follow instead of us choosing when our lessons actually are.
We're getting into it now. So the education system, is it almost brainwashing the younger generation? We're going to come over here.
This is my question to you guys before I leave, and I take this young man to the aeronautics department with his mother. This to you guys. So, okay, I'm going to show you guys something. Please don't get scared, alright? This is my exam I'm going to be taking tomorrow. It's my last aerodynamics exam of my degree. Very colourful.
Look at that, that's revision notes right there.
Very colourful, nasty equations there, okay?
Wait,
now,
so you were studying over PEMDAS, couple of order operations,
like that. Indeed.
Math, basically.
It is actually very simple math, but I have a question to them, right? Now, so you can see that I have to cover all these really colourful equations, quite frankly. How can we create an education system where, okay, as that woman said, you guys are free range, but at the same time, when you guys have to become a professor of aeronautical engineering, or, you know, an aeronautical engineering industry, or a scientist, how can you guys actually solve those difficult equations while being free range at the same time? Where do we stop you guys and say, okay, we need you guys to know how to do x squared plus y squared equals z squared? Where does this boundary
Where's
come?
the line that we draw? Alright, that's a great final thought to leave us on that one. Absolutely brilliant. Now, are you staying? Are you shooting off as well?
What?
Are you staying? Are you going?
I'm probably staying.
So, yeah, that's fine. You get it fine. We're going to come to you next. Do not worry. Keep that enthusiasm there, though. Just before we carry on, I didn't get your name at the start. What's your name, pal?
Joshua.
What was that one more time for me?
Joshua.
Joshua. When you want something to say, just pop a hand up. I'll come straight to you, my man. All right.
So I was thinking that just like how we're being, sometimes how people are being held back, there's this tale that I learned about in school about a couple of months ago about Emily Wilde Davidson, who was a suffragette during the early 18 or 1900s, I think it was. And so I think it was either the census of 1811 or 1911 when it was called The Story of the Broom Cupboard, where she thought, well, wait a minute, I don't have much power here, so if I leave my house, go to the Houses of Parliament, and then go to the Houses of Commons, and I stay if I stay there overnight, I won't be registered in my home, which means that if I'm registered in the building, I'll be given the same power as a man, so I'll get the same controllability. So.
Yeah, because it's interesting along the same vibe, talking about control actually, the controls that have been put on not only children but on different sexes as well, maybe, alright?
So as she planned, she left her building sometime that evening, went out, crept slowly into the Houses of Parliament, made it to the Houses of Commons, and then found her hiding spot for the night with no food, no drink, not much air to breathe, and she hid herself in a broom cupboard.
It was rough, wasn't it?
And she was caught about 2 a.m. in the morning by a cleaner.
Yeah.
And she was prosecuted, and she. The thing was, women's stats didn't quite change until she made a dramatic feat.
So does that mean it takes a big change? You know, something major for us to change? Because we're going back to your question about the education system. How do we change the education system? Do we need something big to happen in order to have that shake-up?
And also, if we didn't have the education and our parents just to let us the way we wanted, if
we had no education, we wouldn't know how to save lives or help people or do any of the jobs that we do right now.
So we need that bit of control.
And we wouldn't know how to build anything, so we just wouldn't know what to do with anything.
I'm going to come round to the back here because you were nodding in agreement there. What are your thoughts? Come on, you've got to share with us.
To me, actually, that is a question that the question that I asked about. When do we start to have a formal framework to a child's education so that they can become, work in a vocational field like engineering, law, medicine? When is that point? It's a very difficult question. I don't think there's still an answer, to be honest.
Well, we're going to carry on exploring, seeing what we can find. It's not linear, no.
It's not at all. But I'm going to take these two off.
Thank you so much for everything. Give me one final thought before you go.
Wait, are we leaving?
We're leaving because we're going with this.
One final thought.
Oh, okay. So, I was probably thinking that the future is in our hands, and it's us that will change the future.
I should pass him the microphone to drop after that, shouldn't I? That was a mad one. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. It's been absolutely brilliant.
Good luck with your exams.
Yeah, good luck with your exams. You're going to smash it. All right. We're going to come just here. Yeah.
As he said, we are the next generation, and the people that are controlling this government at the moment. This government at the moment, they're not. They don't understand what we may be feeling as young adults or teens.
Yeah,
so,
maybe they don't understand that as much.
With if we were to put the other things into our own hands, then we would be able to give our perspectives across in our education instead of following a strict curriculum set by the government.
Now, we are going to carry on this discussion because it is really good, but there are loads of new faces, so all I'm going to do, go around, just want to get everybody... You going now? Yeah. Don't worry, get one final thought before you go.
Science is awesome, goodbye. I want another thought. Nobody can dislike waffles.
Alright, yeah, waffles are good, alright.
They're
amazing.
amazing.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. You've been brilliant. Now, I just want to get names so everybody knows each other, alright? So we're going to start here and go around.
I'm Anne.
Anne, lovely to meet you.
I'm Kyle.
Hi, lovely to meet you.
Momo.
Momo.
Sharon.
Bandu.
Haria.
Joshua.
Alex.
I am Will. That is my main man Rick behind the camera there, alright? This is Talkaoke. Oh, we have spoken about a lot today, guys, alright? You've come in at a great time. We're talking about education. We're talking about young people, adults, parents. We've been talking about control. At the minute, that was a really interesting question that was just raised. Do we think that adults really understand what it's like to be a kid in today's society? We're going to come here first to Joshua.
Well, I think they don't know how we feel because, like, in World War II, there's this person called Hitler. He started World War II. He made all the children in Germany follow his lead, and he didn't know how they felt. He didn't know how they felt. He just he was expecting them to just follow his orders straight away.
I think he didn't understand how a lot of people felt. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. But do we think that still happens today? Do you think there's other people? What I'm going to do, Joshua, I'm going to see if somebody has an answer to your question. It's a good question. I'm going to you go, no, that's fine. Any thoughts? Yeah.
I don't think adults understand because they were a child a long time ago and times have changed and everyone now everything is different and the way people see things and children are introduced to the world's problems more and before I think that children weren't very aware because they weren't given a chance to and they weren't educated like people are now.
Interesting. Now, I want to open this out, all right? All these adults think they're safe behind the kids back there. You're not safe, I see you, all right? We're talking about, do adults really think they understand what it's like to be a kid in today's society? What do you think? Come sit down. Come have a chat with us. The kids think, no, they're not. What do we think? No. What do you think, mate?
I don't think that adults fully understand because they can sometimes, but what ends up happening is, so in year 6, when you're preparing for the SATs, they make you do lots and lots of revision, but then if you work so much and you don't rest, play, then your brain gets tired and you'll end up failing.
So is it too much pressure that's put on kids in school?
Yeah, a lot of pressure.
Yeah, do we think we need to take some of that pressure off with exams? Is that too much, yeah?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
they know.
What do you think we should change about it then? Yes, Joshua, you got the answers, my man. You keep going.
Yeah, because, like, I think I also like adults don't know how we feel because
Is this your mum behind you?
Because
what does mum think? I wanna know what mum thinks.
sometimes adults just take it too far over the line.
Oh, okay. The adults are stepping over the line now. What do you think, Mum? Do you think it's that? Do you reckon you understand the pressures that may be put on Joshua? What are your thoughts? Come sit down. Come join us. Come join us at the table. All right. You can stand. Don't worry. If you get cold, you can jog on the spot. Keep warm. Okay. What do you think? Any thoughts?
I think the problems are the same that we're facing. Doesn't matter what generation it is. I just think the experiences or how we're experiencing those problems may change.
Yeah.
So maybe now you would have had a bit more. So say for example, if you take bullying, when I was younger there was bullying, but now there still is bullying, but maybe it's over social media.
Yeah.
Where
So
we
more
didn't have that
cyberbullying.
before.
Yeah, it's just slightly
But I
different.
think it's the same problems, but I just think our kids nowadays just experience those problems differently.
So it's a multi-generational issue then. It's not. It's just slightly affecting different ways. So many hands were going to come here. Yeah.
My dad pushes me a lot because, he just cares about work, that's all. And like this morning we had a discussion that the first thing he talks about when he gets home is, did you do your homework? And I think it's kind of dramatic of him because like you can't always ask me if you did your homework. You have to always ask me, oh, how was your day? Were your friends nice to you?
Right. Okay. So it's about that interaction level, isn't it? Then. Yeah.
I think I agree with her, and I think that sometimes I think parents should pay attention to their children's life and pay attention to what's going on, and bullying can be happening without the parents seeing it.
Let me throw it out. I'm going to turn a question out to you guys. What do you think parents can do to help you guys out a little bit more? And adults, what do you guys think that you could do? Yeah, we're going to come over here first of all.
I mean, the adults, what they can do, they can give children advice because that's what the adults are there for. They give the children advice how they can solve it, how they can ignore it, how they can resolve the problem.
All right, so they're there as a source of information, a source of wealth. We're going to call him, yes, Joshua, mum and man.
I think to make it better, I think adults should just calm down a bit. They should just stop being so fiery tempered.
Fiery tempered, they're there. The adults are the ones that maybe still haven't got that teenage angst period. Oh, we've got Dad Man back as well. Nice to see you, Dad Man.
Like I know people who their parents hit them, which is not a good thing. And also like some children want to they want to start saying, because their parents treat them, their parents treat them really badly, so they want to treat their parents really badly, which is, you can't really do that because they're the older ones and you have to like respect them in some way. So you can't parents also have to know that they have to calm down too, because then the children can't hit you back. They
need to lead. Yeah, no. Obviously, it's always a bad thing to whether it's a child hitting another child or an adult hitting a child. Always a bad thing. But do we think then that adults need to change the way they lead by example? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Come join us. Come sit down. Don't worry. Don't hide. Talking at the moment about we don't. At the minute, we think the kids don't think the adults truly understand what it means to be a kid right now. All right. What are our thoughts? Where are we going to next? Where are we going to? We're going to come here. Yeah.
I agree with what she just said, and I think that I'm adding on that even though they might think that they're doing something that's good for you, they are, but at the same time they're hurting you as well because they're putting you under a lot of pressure. And going back to exams, if you're put under a lot of pressure that you need to pass, or you start being compared to other children and other parents saying that their child is better than yours, that can also hurt, because what a parent says or an adult says to a child can mean a lot to them.
So adults, let me throw it out to you guys. I'm going to get to your points in a minute, but what do we think tests are important? Are they important? Do we need to value the results of a test? What are our thoughts? Oh, okay. All the kids' hands went straight up and all of the parents' heads went straight down. All right, interesting stuff. Come join us. We're going to come just here first of all.
Okay, well, I think tests are important because bullying, it can also happen in terms of if someone's not performing as well as others, people could bully that person because they're not performing as well. So tests could help because as long as the children aren't put under a lot of pressure, then they can figure out their level and helps the kids who are struggling to get back onto the...
But overall they're important to measure how somebody's doing. Interesting points. We're going to come over to Dadman next.
Well, tests are good and bad. Good because they push you to the limits, and bad because there's this guy in my class who gets 2, like in a test out of 10, and everybody else gets 9. Some people annoy him about that. We don't usually do that, but yeah, so some people, it's good and bad.
Yeah, it's good and bad. What about, do you like tests? Do you think tests are good? Tests, like tests in school. So when like written exams, are they a good tool? We're talking that's what we're talking about at the moment. Are exams putting too much pressure on kids?
A lot of exams, so he can probably talk a lot about.
Yeah, he was saying, but we were saying that maybe adults don't understand the pressures that are being put on kids at the moment.
We can see our children under a lot of pressure, and I think there is too much attention paid to the test because children work throughout the year.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's had so many exams to secondary school and now he has to sit through SATs again, I find it quite pointless.
Yeah, too many exams. We need to get rid of some of those exams. Are you staying? Are you going? You're just getting warm? Yeah, he's getting cold. Yeah, if anybody wants to stand up and run on the spot, that is absolutely fine. All right, are you going? Are you staying? Are you going? Give us a final thought before you leave.
Tests are good, but they have to be made in moderation.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. You've been great. Enjoy the rest of your day. You've been ace. All right. We got lots of hands. I'm going to come to Joshua first. Then we're going to go. In fact, we got a new hand. Not spoken yet. I will come back to you in a minute, Joshua. Don't you worry. You stay there, my man. We're going to come just here.
I think tests are bad because sometimes the parents give a lot of pressure to the kids.
Yeah, they do, don't they? They give a lot of pressure. What are you saying?
Like he said, I think tests are good and bad. First of all, good because.
Okay, before we go, get a final thought in just
I think it's good because the teachers they use like the score from your test to calculate how much you already know about maths.
Yeah.
And I think they're bad because they don't understand how difficult it is for you.
And a very mature mind you have, Joshua. You're forward thinking.
They don't understand how difficult it is for you, and sometimes they just push you too hard.
So maybe they're going a little bit too hard. Now, are you guys shooting off? Are you staying? You going? Let's get a final thought before you go.
Just remember this. I'm going to have my SATs in May 14th, and when you're marking my SATs, just give me a mark or 2.
Right, do you know what? If I was marking your SATs, I would mark you hard. But best of luck. I'm sure they'll be fine.
I also think that children should remember that even if they don't do the best in their exam, the exams are not about what you do is not about how smart you are, it's what you know about the particular subject. And some people are very intelligent, but they don't do very well because they're not exam smart.
Good point there. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, it's all about education, isn't it? And it's been a journey, guys. It's been a journey.
There's not enough jobs after education.
There's not enough jobs after education. Is that point? Are you off as well, my friend? Give us a final thought before you go. Is that your final thought?
Thank you for your time.
Not a problem at all. You're welcome. Yeah, come join us. Come sit down. Yeah, Mikey's in Norway at the moment. He's a little bit further away. Rick's here. Main man Rick as always. But Mikey's not quite. No, he's a little bit further away. But if you want to jump on a plane, you can go say hi to him.
I think that to make SATs and tests better, they should actually, like, for example, if you were how do you say this?
Is it left you? Is it happens?
Wait.
Don't tell you what. Have a think about it.
Yeah, I know.
You got it.
I know. Yeah.
You're back with us. It's okay.
If we were to once you've done the test, if you're in high school, and you had a test you already knew, and then there was another test you didn't know, and then you told the teacher it was a bit too hard for you. And the teacher was like, come on, you can do it, hurry up, you can do it, come on, no time to lose, come on, let's do this, come on, let's do that. It's it's like they're forcing you to do something. They're rushing you too quickly. Like if you tell
There's too much pressure, too much time.
because if you tell someone
more time.
you're not ready to do something, and they keep on saying it. Like this morning, when I was getting ready, my mum was like, hurry up, get your jumper on, and she was just rushing you so much.
He's stopping you in here, isn't he? He's putting you to shame. Don't worry. What we're going to do, we're going to carry this on, but for now, I want to get a couple of names, alright? I want to make sure everyone is familiar. So we're going to start here. What's your name?
Dabman.
Dabman, back as always.
Lorraine.
Lorraine?
Joshua.
Joshua, what's your name, buddy?
Yuri.
Yuri, lovely to meet you.
I thought you were half Mario and what's your...
Yeah, great Mario. I love that. We were actually talking about video games earlier. Spent a lot of time. We didn't talk about Mario though. Do we think what? So
Hey, why don't we talk about Mario?
is that what you want to talk about? Should we talk about Mario? Yeah. Why do you like Mario so much? What do you like about Mario? Does it look fun? Have you played Mario before?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you like it?
Yeah, but in level 1, at the end of it, you get
a final thought before you go.
to see different kind of masters of the evil.
Right, okay, so it's like a different type of game, is it? Different evils on there, different bad guys. We're going to come back and explore that, but Joshua and Lorraine are going. Let's get a final thought from you guys.
I think with Mario, he's like he's a star. People see him as a star, but once you start playing it, you get addicted, and once your parent, mother, father, or guardian, if they tell you, all right, that's enough, you've already had your time limit, come off, and you don't listen, but Mario is just
it's Mario's life. It's too much, isn't it? Sometimes
it's so realistic that you just can't stop playing it. Like you can't. It's like.
Yeah, Joshua, you've been great. I want to see what your final thought from Lorraine over here. What's your final thought?
This is a great university and I hope he aspires to come
Oh, amazing stuff. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. So we're talking about, we got the Dabman family back again. I'm glad to see you back. So, are you going to come sit down? You're going to join us? You're going to come pop down?
Come on.
Yeah, come on. Anyway, Dabman, what were you saying? What are your thoughts?
Maybe she gets to pick the topic.
Yeah, what do you want to talk about? We were talking about Mario before. We can carry on with Mario if you like.
Mario!
Let him talk.
Do you want to carry on with Mario? What is it about Mario then?
Daddy has a Wario phrase.
A Wario? Oh, is that like the anti-Mario Wario?
Yeah,
you don't know Mario?
But I don't know if everyone else knows Wario.
Oh, okay. What?
Second.
Tell us a bit about this Wario.
Mario, I'm a Wario. I'm gonna win. Come on, go.
So like a catchphrase. Rick seems to like that one. Rick knows that one apparently. Yeah.
Right,
So, why is Mario so popular then? Why do people like it so much? What's good about it? Yes, Dabman.
Because it isn't like one of those games which are like full action, everybody. This is so difficult. I'm never gonna make this. It's more like this guy. You're walking, and suddenly you have this fiery ball of flame that can kill you a second later. You're like, let's just stuck.
So it's not because there's no shooting in it, and that's quite a popular thing, isn't it? It's a family game.
Yeah.
Is it something that families still play together?
I play Mario Kart with my
Mario Kart. All right, interesting.
with my whole family.
Do you think you could play Mario together with everyone at home?
Yeah.
Yeah? What do you like about playing Mario at home?
I just like about like the things in the way and you have to dodge them, and then
Right, so the skills involved, maybe like dodging things out of the way.
and you jump on the
Jumping
heads.
on things, yeah. Okay, yeah, jumping on heads. All right. Do you get like the little sort of mushroom things, don't you? You can jump at, yeah. Okay. You can fly in it. Is that what you like doing?
Because you have a parachute, and once my brother, he ate someone when he was flying.
Oh, right, in Mario. I was a bit worried there for a second.
Mario Kart, I had this spot in front of me, and we were flying up, and then my plant just ate something in midair, and they stopped flying, and they just came down.
Sounds like a bit of a wacky game, doesn't hasn't it? Lots of stuff happening there. Is this something that, like, because this has been going on for ages and years, Mario has, hasn't it? So why is it so timeless? Why did you guys used to play Mario?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of my first games, so I remember playing and being obsessed with. I think it's the music.
Yeah, the music,
I think it's
yeah.
the music, yeah.
That's the one thing, yeah. When you have catchy music, everyone. Yeah, that's the one. Oh, no singing at Talkaoke. Rick's going to tell me off in a minute. I can't do that, yeah. Oh. Yeah. Humming, I'll get away with that.
Karaoke.
Oh, here we go. I know. It's a good thing Mike is in Norway. I hope he doesn't see this. Alright, but yeah, like I was saying, come sit down, this is talking. Do you play Mario? Yeah, come sit down, that's what we're talking about. Talking about Mario. Yes,
I think it's pretty popular because you have all these kinds of guys with different personalities, and one is like old tough, I want to fight you and send out a flaming bulldozer on you, and the other's like, I'm so smart, I'm like super sneaky, and suddenly I teleport behind you, and you're like,
so what's your name, buddy?
Jai.
Jai? So so you say you like playing Mario as well? That's what we've been talking about at the moment.
I mean, like, you know, Mario I think is a very classic game. I think my favourite would be the original one for the, what was it called? The Atari.
The Atari. Whoa, we're going back now, alright, the Atari.
Yeah. But also I'm a fan of stuff like Mario Kart, stuff like that, yeah.
Do you guys play Mario? Do you like Mario? We're talking about it at the moment. We're talking about why is Mario such a timeless game, alright? We've said maybe it's the music, you know, I'm not going to do it again, I'll get in trouble for singing at the table. But come join us, come sit down, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about Mario at the moment. Right, everyone's playing. Oh, it was all fun and games when you think he was safe at the side there. But what?
Do you like Mario?
What other games then? And what other sort of classic games do you think has great music? If that's what makes a great game, that makes it timeless and classic, what other good music scores do we have in games? Have we lost that nowadays? Do we not have good music scores? Yeah. Oh, you got a point. What's your name first of all?
Sean.
Sean, what do you think you do?
You look at current games and it's just like these simple songs that you find off the internet or something. But Mario was like traditional, and like the whole storyline of Mario, this traditional Italian plumber who has to go through and find a princess. You don't find games like that anymore. Now it's all modern and fighting and weapons. But that was traditional. It was simple. The great music track. You don't get songs and games like that anymore. It was nice and simple, which was the amazing thing about it.
I'd quite like to see like a Princess Peach saving a Mario. I think that'd make quite a good game. Do you know what I mean? Like Mario's been stolen by Bowser, Princess Peach comes along to the rescue.
I saw a YouTube video where there's this guy called Level Up, and yeah, he flips a story. So Princess Peach is the hero. Basically, just flips roles, no different.
So why don't we have that? Why don't we have a game where Princess Peach saves Mario?
And the trickiest master of Koopa is Ultra.
Koopa, the little shell people, aren't they?
Ultra Koopa.
Ultra Koopa, so like a mech. So you're talking about the bosses in Mario? Yeah, because that's another thing, isn't it? The bosses.
He's at the end of the level number 1 and number 2 and all of the levels. It's like it's like up to 10, but it's not. It's like half.
Is that why do you think maybe Pong wasn't as popular as Mario then? You know, there wasn't. Yeah, but like there wasn't a boss in Pong maybe. But did Pong have music?
Yeah. The popcorn.
Yeah, like the sort of tennis. Yeah. So because that didn't have music, did it? But that was popular.
Yeah, but it couldn't have music yet. The computer wasn't built up to do that.
No, it wasn't built up. But so do you think so? So what makes a good game then? Because it's changing with the times, but we're saying that maybe games nowadays aren't as good as they used to be. Is that what we're saying, or are they better? Has technology made games better, or are they getting worse? Yes, Dabman.
That depends on opinion, but like some people like full action game. So suddenly you have 3 people behind you, and you're like da 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 da. But other people they like
I love the sound effects.
They like the.
Oh, so is violence in it? We were talking about this earlier. Violence in video games, is it good? But we were just talking about how Mario, you're stamping on people's heads and eating
It's much more violent than it used to be.
Oh, okay.
I mean, when we were playing games, it was Mario, and now it's Fortnite, and it's like killing.
It's more like well, yeah, it's.
What do you think? Do you think video games are getting too violent now? No?
But you play only just dance.
Do you play? Oh, so like a dancing, is that like Just Dance?
Yeah, Just Dance 2018.
I didn't know that was still going.
You just have to copy the dancing and that's all. It's so easy.
Whoa, okay. There is a Just Dance fiasco just kicked off at the table there.
Try Just Dance and then go on to Sayonara. You are gonna die.
Because
it's like.
But have you guys seen the virtual reality that's here at the festival?
Yeah, I did.
Have you seen it? Like where you sort of build a protein. Have we seen this?
We just came here and that's all he's interested right now for. Is just the table.
Just Dance, isn't it?
I know Just Dance. Yes, tell me about it.
So everything is getting more violent. Do you think it would be a good thing if they use virtual reality for soldiers, for example, to play a game to get less emotional for the battlefield, for example?
I don't know. I'm going to turn the mirror back on you. What do you think? Do you think it's going to be good for that?
Hey, you from yesterday! My vegan friends!
It's like a Talkaoke reunion. Kate and Rick, we're all going to get involved. I know. Everyone's loving it. Come sit back down. Come get involved again. How's it going? You coming back? Yeah, that's absolutely. I'm just going to check the time. Yeah, we're still going to be going for a bit. Yeah. We'll swap over after you finish. You relax. You enjoy.
You are our only hope.
I tell you what, it's been a bit of a journey. Feels like we've kind of come full circle a little bit. We've come full circle. Tell you what, just to reintroduce everyone, we all know each other. Let's do the right names one more time. What's your name?
Sharad.
Dabman.
We got Mr. Dabman, Mrs. Dabman. We got Sister Dabman and other Sister Dabman. Is that right still?
Yeah.
All right. The Dabman family and friend of Dabman. Oh, high five! I like that.
People standing.
You leave me hanging like that. I just got absolutely fired off, and that's on camera as well. I can't believe that. I've been done.
Camera friend of Dabman.
Okay. Let's bring it back for a second. Now we had a great question here about whether or not we're going to start using virtual reality to train soldiers to make them less emotional. Maybe they already do. Do we know that? Do we already do that? Yeah? Yeah? Okay, jumping back in.
So they've just, and they're starting to use data that is currently available. So they use Google Earth. So you'd stop eyeing up my food.
I know, I had one earlier. It was so good.
They use Google Earth. They use all of those sort of collective open source data that are available, not open source, but data that's available to make. So they've made maps of like the Korean Peninsula, and they can train soldiers to fight in very specific environments, as if so that when they arrive on the ground, they actually have already experienced that terrain in theory.
Wow. How do you feel about this? Is this a good idea? Bad idea?
I just want you to repeat the question.
We're talking about at the moment the soldiers that are being put in, like virtual reality headsets, and they're practicing the war zones they're going to go into, and they're shooting around there. Is this a good use of technology?
That's a good thing to prep. I mean, it's a good thing to prep yourself, but if you're going to start shooting in your virtual reality, then it's a whole other thing, probably.
Like I could play Fortnite in virtual reality, but then accidentally something went wrong, and I forgot to stay in one place. Suddenly I'm starting to run, and then literally I just fell into the.
So you're going to be on like a weird sort of treadmill and start running through the game? Is that what's going to happen?
Like I've seen this. My mom showed me this video where you like go into this kind of thing with a moving ball, and this guy had like 2 fake guns, and he was doing virtual reality, and he couldn't run away. He had this kind of harness, and he couldn't run away because if he did, that'd be kind of dangerous.
It's getting a bit crazy now, isn't it?
I think it's good for the training of the soldiers because virtual reality is pretty much the same thing as what you do in reality. So it kind of trains you, and virtually you have almost all the same obstacles and the enemies around you, and you have to shoot. So I guess that's a good idea, actually. I guess. Yeah.
My main man's back. Do you want to tell everyone your name?
Jay.
Jay, welcome back, Jay. All right. At the minute we're talking about virtual reality, but we spoke about soldiers and military application, how it's useful because it's very similar. But And Mario as well, yeah. What about a virtual reality? Mario.
Yeah, that's
Virtual Mario.
And like you can become Bowser, and you actually have to put the shell on your back, and like everybody's like, and suddenly you came out of your, and suddenly something went wrong. Your thing broke down, so it opened, and suddenly you're running out of your house. People are like, what the heck is it? Why is that?
Hey, maybe
why is that
you
guy
could build
wearing
this
that
game.
thing?
Maybe that could be your life's ambition, Davman, to build virtual Mario and to be Bowser.
It's pretty cool. I'm like,
No, it must be being built.
It's already been built?
I'm sure it's being built right now.
Wow.
It must be. It must be.
What sort of things then? Oh,
Can I just say, you know, if you go to Tokyo, you can hire a Mario Kart and you do a tour of Tokyo in a little Mario Kart. Yeah. It's a real thing. My friend did it last week.
What a world we live in, people. Alright, well, where do you want to go with this? Do you want to carry on with virtual reality or Mario? What do you guys want to talk about? Yeah, I'm going to turn the mirror back on you. Hey. I'm just a man with a mic. That's all I am. I'm a man with a mic here to hear what you guys think, alright? That's what I'm doing. Alright, I'll ask you guys a question then. What, you guys have been back pretty much the whole weekend. What's your highlight of the weekend been? What have you loved about the festival? What shocked you? What surprised you?
I really like the virtual reality. It was pretty cool. I want to do this kind of thing with lasers. I'm not sure what it's called.
Lasers?
Like you have this laser and you've got like mirrors, and I'm not sure.
See, lasers still blow my mind because when I was growing up, lasers were like just James Bonds. You know, that's when they like cut through walls. That's what I always thought at the moment. So when people say lasers, I sort of panic a little bit. Lasers and bombs. What's been your favourite part of the weekends?
What did you like the most here?
Well, I made like a thing, and you can see, and you look in the little window, and then you can see which colours are in the light.
Oh, it's like the spectrum of light, yeah.
To the lights.
Wow. So what about what I'm going to come over to Jay. What's your favourite part of the day been so far? What have you enjoyed?
I've enjoyed. Well, you know, there's a marathon for kids. It's called the mini marathon.
The mini marathon for kids.
Yeah.
Did you do that here? A mini marathon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that's one way to keep warm, isn't it? All right, it's a bit chilly. Did you do the mini marathon as well?
Just he did with his mum.
Just you, yeah. Oh, that's something I think we should all start doing, a mini marathon to keep a little bit warmer. Anything to keep warm by the looks of it. But what was that?
A Bomb Boy. That is a video game as well.
Ah, video game. Are you guys off?
Yeah, we're off.
Oh, what an experience it's been. All right, let's have a final thought from you guys.
It's been fantastically impressive here.
Oh, great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah?
It was fun.
I just want to reveal my true name, Flossman.
Floss. Guys, enjoy the rest of your day. All right, you've been absolutely amazing.
I also want to leave, so I'll give my final thought.
Yeah, what's your final thought, my friend?
The best thing I liked is the show.
You love this show? Oh,
yeah.
Thank you so much. All right, it's been ace. You guys have been a pleasure.
This is the best thing I liked in the whole festival because it's so entertaining, and it gives you, it's like virtual reality, it gives you the real feel of how you're on a TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
God, well, fantastic. Enjoy the rest of your day, my friends.
What's your name, mate?
My name's Will. All right, that's my name. So feel free to take one of our cards. We go all over if I can get one out. My hands are freezing. I can't feel. There you are, my friend. Just there for you. Yes, but feel free to take one. Do you want one as well?
Thank you so much.
Not a problem. You're welcome. Yeah, of course, come in.
Are you here next Imperial Festival?
I think we will. Are we at the next Imperial Festival, Rick? Hope so, maybe. We've been here for lots of years, so yeah, hopefully. Don't lose your family, Dad man, Floss man. Just go. Jay, it's me and you, buddy. That's what's happening. It's me and you. It's your time to shine, all right? The stage is yours. What do you want to talk about, Jay? It's completely up to you, mate. You got free reign. The power, look at this. Put your hands out for a second, because power grab. I got something for you. Look.
It's rude to eat while
You've got the power. You've got the control. What would you like? What would you like to talk about? Everyone's here to listen to you. I know. I might have to have a quick jog on the spot. All right, because I'm getting cold. I'm cold sitting down here. Come join us. We're about to start a new discussion. I'm just having a jog to stay warm. That's all it is. Yeah, do it. I'm doing a mini marathon. What were you all talking about? What did you go see when you left us? You left us for a while there. What did you see?
Yeah, tell them what you saw there. The mosquitoes and the
and then we saw. So basically, when I went there, I saw there was a section about mosquitoes. And they were taking away the they couldn't take away the disease, so they were going to stop the population of mosquitoes.
So do they stop them being able to have baby mosquitoes? They stop them being able to reproduce. Okay, amazing.
So they're killing off all the mosquitoes?
No, just some of them.
Just some of them? Which ones are they killing off? Who's the
ones that carry malaria.
And which ones are they? How do we know?
The DNA which they insert that finds out which.
So they've got to
carry
stop
germ.
every single mosquito and go, are you a carrier, you not?
It replicates. It goes forward.
Right, so it's like hereditary, so it goes from mosquito to mosquito in certain strains.
Yeah.
Amazing, huh?
It just carries
science.
So the medicine, or whatever they call it, is carried through the male mosquitoes because the female mosquitoes won't be able to have babies once they have this medicine in them.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so they need them to be able to have babies in order to.
No. So the male ones will carry it forward and pass it on, but the female ones, once they have the medicine, they won't be able to lay eggs.
Okay.
Right.
Wow.
Mind blown.
Is it? I said this earlier on, and I don't know if it's right or true anymore. Is malaria still the biggest killer in the world?
One of the biggest things. So there's this thing that whether this is good to do that or not on a species, but compared to that, you are like thousands and millions of children die out of malaria.
Yes. Just talking about the genetic engineering of
mosquitoes
to take out malaria.
Well, how was I supposed to discover synthetic quinine? That would have put me out of a job immediately.
Let me whip around.
I tried to.
You're a civil engineer.
I tried, and you can be uncivil at times, I'll tell you. In this cold.
How many times have you made that joke today?
No, actually, only once today. So unique experience.
And it's the time on camera that counts.
It's got to be. I'm here for the evening, ladies and gentlemen. No, Perkin was sent home in his Easter holidays. Imagine this, whole lot of school work. Do you have school work in your holidays?
Do you have homework in the holidays?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that good or bad?
Bad.
Well, imagine this. Your teacher might say, all right, learn this poem and do these sums and go and collect something or go and see a play, right? He told me, he said, right, here's a big paper I've written. I was only 18 at the time. Here's a big paper I've written. Go and make synthetic quinine. Now, quinine, that was my homework for the Easter holidays. Now,
how
quinine,
old were you when that was?
18.
18. Oh, okay.
So I was sent off. Synthetic means man-made, because normally you took it out of the bark of trees and then did it. It's very, very complicated. So he said, make it because we can make it cheaper. And that's when I discovered. I got back. I did everything he said, and do you know what? Couldn't do it. So I thought I'm going to have to go back to my teacher and say I couldn't do my homework. And I thought, oh dear, that's bad. So what I did instead, I thought I'll clean everything up. And when I cleaned it up with alcohol, that's when I turned this nice purple dye out. So you see.
And that's where dye
comes from. And the dye is, what colour was the colour?
It's now called Movine.
You invented mauve.
Well, I didn't invent mauve, but the other way of doing it, you see, the same way that you got quinine out of tree bark, the other way of making mauve. That's why it's so expensive. Only Roman emperors had it and kings and queens. The only other way was to make it out of snail snot.
Snail snot?
Mollusk or mollusk mucus.
Blowing the nose of snails.
Well, something like that. There's a gland, and you extract the mucus from it.
Would you like to wear clothes that have a colour made of snail snot? I stunted Joe with that one.
And the other thing about the snail snot, or the mollusk mucus, was that in the sun it bleached, and also when it rained, it ran a bit like a nose.
Oh, I think we've all got a little bit of a runny nose today. It's chilly.
This is colour fast. You see, colour fast. That's how I made my money. Out of not getting. So all this malaria stuff. I wouldn't have had a job. We wouldn't have had this. Nothing. So what's going on? What's going on?
Well, I don't know what I've done, but I'll tell you what is going on. We're trying to figure out at the minute. Apparently, the male mosquitoes carry a gene that carries malaria. So the female don't have that gene. Is that right?
It's the other way around. The females
carry the
malaria.
females carry the gene, the males don't. So they're trying to figure out how to.
But who gets blamed for it? who gets blamed for it?
That's it.
Oh, okay. There's gender issues in all sorts of species. It transcends species. It transcends time.
Let's discuss patriarchy in mosquitoes.
So where do you want to go with this? What do you want to talk about, guys? How's everyone coping today? How everyone's doing with the weather? Are we enjoying it? Are we smiling still through it?
Where do mosquitoes live? In hot countries. Let's just try and think hot countries.
A positive spin.
A positive spin.
We're not going to get malaria today.
Touch wood.
Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Dear, oh dear.
Where do we want to go with this?
I don't know.
Jay, have you got any subjects you'd like to talk about? Anything you need to know? You need to tell us?
You got any questions?
Jay, what?
Do you know much about mosquitoes? Because I don't know much about mosquitoes. What is eaten? Sorry, let's go again. What eats mosquitoes?
Do you know what eats mosquitoes?
I am genuinely asking. I don't know.
Do you know what eats mosquitoes?
Join us.
Sort of trying to figure out now. What would eat a mosquito? You got any ideas? We're trying to figure out how to start.
A
bird, maybe. Yeah, bird. What?
Fish.
Fish? Do fish eat?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe like sort of jump out. Yeah. What sort of fish?
So, if you mess about with a mosquito, might you then mess about with a fish?
Oh.
When they've eaten it.
It's a trophic.
There'll be fish under the water and say, I'm not having those genetically modified mosquitoes. I'm going to go for the old-fashioned mosquitoes because you don't know what's going to happen. It's like tomatoes and you.
Are you saying that we have a food chain? If you mess with one bit of it, the knock-on effect could be. Are you saying we shouldn't be doing this?
Well, I'm just throwing it out there.
It's really complex, isn't it? It's a difficult one. So I don't know, because which is more important, the food chain or human survival?
Now, before we get into this one, we've got some new faces at the table. Come join us. We're getting into mosquitoes and malaria at the moment. We're talking about how to stop it. But it's Talkaoke. We're going to get around to names. You're just in time. Come sit down. Come sit down. Yeah, let's get some names. Let's get it going. All right, we're going to start here and work around.
William Perkins.
Sir William Perkins.
Sir William.
Kate.
It's deep. It's gone. It's deep.
It's lost it.
Jay.
Ottilie.
Astrid.
Tiffany.
Oh, sorry, that was me, not you. Let me whip around. Eliza.
Chris.
And Chris. Guys, my name is Will. That is Rick behind the camera. This is Talkaoke, alright? We've been talking about lots of things, but
so much.
at the minute we're talking about mosquitoes, talking about malaria, how to stop it. Fish have been eating, maybe fish might eat mosquitoes, but would we want to eat a fish that's eating a mosquito? Or is that something, would that put us off it?
In the past.
Yeah.
I think you have been in the past, but what about a fish that's eaten a genetically modified mosquito?
Would you? Oh, what do you think? Would you eat a fish that's eaten a genetically modified mosquito?
Yeah, because the reason why it's genetically modified is because it wants to get rid of malaria. So.
Oh, okay. So maybe the reason it has been modified is to get rid of it.
So the question is that if you change one bit of the food chain, so you genetically modify a mosquito, what the knock-on effect for the rest of that food chain is, what happens to the fish that eats that mosquito, what happens to the person that eats that fish, and whether we're dicing with the food chain just to save the humans. Are we that important?
Yeah, are we messing up the ecosystem by
No, the mosquitoes they're still the same. You just take out their ability to transmit malaria to humans.
So you just take out the gene that transmits malaria to the humans. So that's not going to affect the rest of the food chain. It's not going to have a knock-on effect.
Yeah, so fishes can still eat. Yeah, there's a thing in the main building about mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes over there.
Ah, okay, so more knowledge drops. Oh,
we've been here all day, we don't get you.
Yeah,
we need
I
you
know.
to tell us.
This is about as far as we get, is to stand up and warm up. That's it. Oh, yeah, I think, should we do a little swap, see? Should we do a swap? Yeah. We're going to keep this conversation going, don't go anywhere, alright? But yeah, I know. It's going everywhere. Look,
so there's the mosquito thing, yes? mosquitoes. You've seen mosquitoes. Have you guys been to the mosquito exhibition? Oh gosh, you didn't even get a chance to say anything. Do you? You can go, come back, whatever you are. Go and come back. There we go. Brilliant. I'm going to hand that.
The mic was still going. Look at this. It's a smooth transition, isn't it? I know. It's almost like it's rehearsed, one might say. Yeah, it's like sort of like the interval halftime show. This while we're trying to do a bit of a swapsy-turvy. But yeah, this mosquito thing is. It's been a bit of a shame not being able to get out and see more of the festival. Really, I'd quite like to do a bit more. But apart from the mosquito, what other interesting things have people learned? Anything else that people have come across?
Can I just ask a completely non-related conversation? What's that big tower? What was it built for?
Well, no, it used to be attached to a huge big building. Which was,
oh, okay. But
so it was a big part of the old.
Right. Okay. Because it's sort of standing there on its own, looking sort of impressive and a bit confusing.
No, it's still part of the old college.
And it burnt down, did you say?
And it was pulled down.
Pulled down. Okay.
Might have been blitzed.
Okay, blitzed. You're right. There were wars. There were things like that, weren't there? Yes. Hello. So, I'm Kate. Welcome, Talkaoke. What are we going to talk about? I don't get to decide what we talk about. You get to decide what we talk about. What other things apart from malarial mosquito exhibitions have you seen?
Doctors' lives suck.
Doctors' lives suck.
We went to a show. It was about medical mistakes.
Yeah.
And how to deal with that.
Right.
I thought it was very good.
So sort of accountability of the medical profession, or how to make doctors' lives less sucky so they make less mistakes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was good. We enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And what other things have we seen?
We've done separating DNA from the strawberry juice.
Wow. Okay.
So basically, you put a strawberry in a bag, and then you mush it up, and then you.
This is scientific talk.
Yeah.
You mush it up with pineapple juice, and pineapple juice is what breaks the cells apart, so you can see all the DNA inside.
Wow.
And then
strawberries, or if
it could be anything.
Okay, pineapple juice is a powerful.
And then you put them, and then you get all the liquid, put all the gooey stuff on top, and get all the liquid into a test tube.
Yep.
And then you put like alcohol onto the test tube, which gets the DNA out, and then the DNA. I can show it. Where is it?
Yeah, sorry, no, I gave away your test tube.
Your test tube full of.
And there was like alcohol floating on the top, and then there's like DNA, white wisps of DNA.
Okay. And so, what was the point of this? Just to show you how it's done.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
How to extract DNA.
So you could use that method to extract DNA from anything?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was just strawberry was the example.
Peas, oranges, apples.
So when you say that doctors' lives suck, did that make you never want to be a doctor? Did it make you admire doctors more? Did it make you go...
I already didn't want to be a doctor.
Okay.
Mom wants to be a doctor.
Did you have medical ambitions?
I used to.
Okay.
But that's too tough. So I gave up.
It is. It's a really hard profession.
Yeah, really need a very excellent ability. I mean psychologically.
Okay.
And your knowledge.
It's a massive
for everything.
Intellectual discipline, but also the life is very hard.
Yeah.
We've just been listening on the audio book. This is going to hurt. Have you read that? Oh, very good. Adam Keyes. Yeah, very funny.
And he's a doctor, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Obstetrics.
Basically, it's a diary of his like being junior doctor into like turning into a higher stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to be a doctor?
Yes or
or
no,
any
Craig?
sort of science?
What do you want to be?
Don't do it, says Eliza. Do you want to be a scientist?
Yeah.
Okay, and which bit of science?
Maybe like
biology.
Coming back to you, alright?
Stuff like maybe rocks, liquids, things like that.
so
Materials.
Materials. Okay, did you go to the materials department here?
What do you know?
They have a materials department here, don't they? They are.
I think so, yes.
Yes. That's not your discipline.
Not mine. No.
I'm not talking to you, Sir Perkins. I don't know, because I believe you work here outside your role as Sir William Perkins.
That's right. Yes.
What's your department?
I don't have a department. No, we've just come in and do the characters.
Right, okay.
Just come to the characters.
Okay.
But but
Right.
definitely materials. That's very interesting because you could save people a huge amount of money on the amount of, fuel that's used,
Yeah.
making things lighter. Way back in, the underground, for example, when they discovered that they were able to make underground trains out of aluminium, or aluminum, as they call it, aluminium, instead of steel, they realised they didn't have to paint the carriages. So, just 8 coaches, the paint alone saved them 2 tons.
Of fuel?
2 tons of weight. So, the rails weren't wearing out so much, they weren't using so much electricity, blah, blah, blah. And then you go to carbon fibre, well, you can virtually blow it down the line, you see.
Absolutely.
Graphene.
Graphene.
Yeah.
Graphene.
Exactly.
That's the hot
Hot material. Exactly.
Oh, everything's
So important person.
Yes. Very good. So I've heard loads of different things that graphene can do. Let's name some things that graphene can do. It seems amazing.
Well, it's like they're waiting for the breakthrough for large volume. The first one I've heard of is coatings.
Yeah.
Ship coatings, so the mollusks don't stick to the underside of the ships if you put graphene into the paint.
So that makes them more efficient in terms of fuel, safety. Okay,
Exactly,
amazing.
exactly.
Again, saving resources. What have you heard graphene can
There's
do?
like airplane, usually they use copper, and copper's like really heavy and expensive, so just using graphene.
Go graphene, very good. So there's materials. What sort of scientist do you want to be?
Well, I'd rather not be a scientist.
Oh, but you said biology and animals, no?
No, I like animals, but doesn't mean I want to do experiments.
Okay, so you're just here for leisure rather than professional reasons?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So
what do you want to do?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
When you were little, did you know what was the thing you wanted to do?
I wanted to be an actor.
Did you? How did that
An actor, and then what happened was, this is really me. Then my father said, "Oh no, you be an accountant. That sounds like actor. You be an accountant."
And did you train?
So I did for 10 years. I taught business studies, and I became an accountant. And I thought, life's too short.
So then you became an actor.
I became an actor. Yeah.
And how's it going?
It's all right. Puts food on the table.
Right.
I shall never retire, but
That's great. Lovely to hear. When you were little, what did you want to be when you grew up?
My dad is a doctor, so I wanted to be a doctor, but I actually ended up becoming a polymer engineer, polymer material.
Polymer engineer.
Polymer materials.
You do materials.
But not
And
work.
now he wants to do materials.
Yes, but that's not related, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Okay.
I got into computers, so I did an MBA in Management Information Systems.
computers.
So I'm not doing anything to do with polymer materials.
Not anymore. Okay. All right.
And he also wanted me to be a doctor too.
It's up to him.
Well, they're saying don't do it. Over here. When you were little, what did you wanted to be a doctor?
I want to become a
At what age did you decide not to be a doctor?
because I'm not good enough on physics, chemistry.
It's hard.
But I'm good. I was good at maths.
Very good. When you were little, what did you want to be when you grew
A
up?
director.
I like TV.
Plays.
Oh,
Playwright. Yeah.
You just wrote a
How did that work out?
Not at all.
Not at all,
No.
okay.
So I make wine in China, but I've just written my first play.
How's it going about getting it put on?
I've got a meeting with a producer on Tuesday.
I wish I could. My play. They don't have a look at mine. You must be well connected.
Yeah,
That's all I
very
can
well
do.
connected.
Should we cast the whole play now?
Could do.
What are you looking for? Who are
Well,
you
it's
looking for?
set in China in 1860. It's to do with the. So there's roles for
You're in.
Chinese.
Are there non-Chinese roles?
Sure. It's the burning of the summer palace is the kind of the crux of it.
So like big sets and special.
No, I
effects?
don't think you need
Or
to
just
burn it
happen
on set. No, I think that probably happens off stage.
Oh look, it's burning over there.
Yes, some
Okay.
smoke comes in,
Right,
that
okay,
kind
a
of
little
thing.
wafting. All right, yeah.
You will find as well if you do anything with smoke on stage, it's ridiculous. It's just stage smoke, and you can breathe in. You can breathe it in. You can breathe it in. It's fine. But as soon as it appears, all the audience will be coughing. There's no reason for it,
Oh, it's
but it comes out and they go, but the actors are on stage doing the lines. Oh, it smells horrible.
Do they ever use smells in plays? I was thinking, to create an atmosphere, like you're in a temple or something, to do incense, for example. Could you fill the theatre with incense?
The closest to that is the old cigarette thing, and they got this thing about
So when someone smokes on stage,
that they didn't like the idea that people were smoking, so they used herbal cigarettes, and they just smell like a blooming bonfire. They're horrible. And all the actors go.
It tends not to be, from my experience, not main stage theatre. You don't tend to use smells, but so you do have sensory theatre. So, yeah, whether that's Reminiscence Project, community theatre, that sort of stuff. Immersive theatre. But yeah, it has been done. I've been in shows where they've used it, but the problem is, when you've got one smell out there, you can't replace it with another smell. So you have to pick the smell wisely.
And also, theatre is about suspension of disbelief. You're creating atmospheres.
Yeah,
that's right.
Everybody knows you're not actually in that place, so.
But that's where you have two different types of theatre, really, don't you? Have you got Brecht and you've got Stanislavski, and you've got people pretending to be characters. You've got people who know that the audience and don't want to trick them. So it's each to their own, really, isn't it? You know. So I mean.
And then me and my dad wrote a book called V-Rex.
We did.
You wrote a book together?
It's about a vegetarian Tyrannosaurus.
Oh.
It's called V-Rex.
We were in a vegetarian restaurant. We thought, what happens if we just thought, what if a tyrannosaur only want to eat vegetables?
And it's Eliza only eat meat, doesn't eat vegetables.
And it's written from the brother's point of view. So it's like the brother has a little brother who doesn't want to eat vegetables.
The father's not so happy with his, the son turns out to be
very disappointed in your vegetarian Tyrannosaurus.
And then he has a friend, Diplodocus, who eats squirrels.
What a name!
You've got a vegetarian that only eats squirrels. So it's very mixed up. It's mixed up.
On the head.
and then like near the end, it's just like and there was a very bright star coming our way, and then it's the end. There's a picture of an explosion. So the dinosaurs go downwards.
Are you saying mass extinction was caused by vegetarianism?
Yes.
That's what she said.
I want to ask, because that name was great. Was it Diplodocus? Was that the name?
Yeah, Diplodocus.
That's brilliant. But I just thought names.
The ones with the long necks.
Yeah. Names in general, I think, have got so much worse as time's gone on. Like,
people's first names?
Yeah, first names, not surnames, but first names that people sort of name people now. Like, I really like some of the older names. So, I mean, some of them are bad, but some are fantastic names, aren't they? And we should go back to those, I think.
I don't know.
Great.
I had that moment yesterday where someone told me the name of their new child, and they've just named this little 2-week-old boy Ptolemy.
Ptolemy.
Ptolemy. Ptolemy. It's a silent P. It's an Egyptian name, isn't it? Wasn't it? Great name.
It's an Egyptian king who wanted to unite Greek.
They were Greeks.
Yeah, they wanted to unite Greek and Egyptian gods.
A little baby.
Your whole life you're going to be spelling. Yeah.
PT.
Yeah,
I know. It's not fair. No, it's rubbish.
It's Tommy. It's Tommy over there, and then it's Tommy with a P. Do you know what I mean? Imagine what's going to happen. Like if that person goes to uni. Oh, it's Tommy P's come on. That's great. That's got character.
It's better than Chardonnay, isn't it?
Well, you never
Chardonnay.
know. Or chlamydia. Lovely name. Lovely name. So pretty. Beautiful. There we go. Do you have, just before you go, what's your favourite dinosaur?
Maybe the Velociraptor.
Nice. Velociraptor. Very good.
Favorite.
Final thought before you go. We're just hearing Jace why the Velociraptor is his favourite dinosaur, and then I'd like to hear your favourite dinosaur.
It's my favourite dinosaur because it's like kind of wild and
they're fast, aren't they?
Fast.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, like it has sharp claws.
Sharp
and
claws.
It's like,
excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go Triceratops. What's your favourite dinosaur? I don't do dinosaurs. Okay.
I don't do dinosaurs.
Are you guys off? What's your final thought before you go, Deep?
Nothing. It's a really good concept, actually.
Great.
Thanks for that.
Have you had a nice time?
We did.
That's really great. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for joining us. It's been
Cheers.
brilliant having you both. Oh my God, he's so cold! Run! Everyone! Oh, that's it. We're all freezing our pants. So final thoughts. Let's have a little go around of final thoughts before you go. A parting bit of information for us, or thoughts.
You dyed your hair neon brown for no reason.
I like that's yours. Don't crash the mic. She's talking. Respect this. You quiet.
I don't like a dinosaur, but I like a dragon and a phoenix.
Oh, very good. Eliza, your final thoughts.
I don't know. I like science fairs.
You like science fairs. There we go. That's excellent. Well done. Final thought. It's not your.
Sure. More hot drinks, I think.
More hot drinks. Yeah, I'm with you there. Sir Perkins.
Why do cemeteries have walls?
Birkenhair?
No, I mean nobody inside can get out, nobody outside wants to go in. So
Well, but Birkenhair, that's what I'm saying. They wanted to get in, didn't
It's
they?
puzzled me for years. That
Wow. See you. Very good. Thank you very much. See ya.